Good afternoon. Oh boy, everybody's missing their lunch to be here, so I guess I better keep you entertained for the next hour. Interesting title, 12 Worst Mistakes You Can Make in Buying and Using Retail Technology. Why do I know they're the 12 worst? I have made every one of them. And that's part and parcel of why I'm here today, is to keep you from making these same mistakes. You will see a slide towards the end that says that if we don't learn from our mistakes, we're condemned to repeat them. So my job over the next hour or so is to take you through these mistakes and to give you some guidance on how you can avoid them. The place where I love to start is with this question. And this is a fundamental question for our search for the perfect technology. By the way, perfect technology does not exist. When anybody says to you, user-friendly or intuitive, run. It simply is not possible. Anyway, okay, here's the question. What's the difference between a used car salesman and a computer salesman? Used car salesman dresses better? That could be. Now, the answer to it is an extremely important one. The answer to what is the difference between a used car salesman and a computer salesman is that the used car salesman knows when he is lying. I don't mean to knock computer salespeople, just the opposite. Most computer salespeople are incredibly wonderful people. The problem is that, you think you're an optimist being in retail? Retailers are optimists, by the way. That's why we build our stores on the ground floor. When we're having a bad day and we jump out the window, we don't kill ourselves. You have not met an optimist till you have met a computer salesperson. They believe, truly believe, that their software can do everything. It will change your life. It will change your business. It will be so easy for you to use and to operate. It will make you tons of money. They believe that. That's the problem. They truly believe it. They don't think that they are lying to you. What they fail to tell you, however, is, well, yeah, but sometimes you have to press this key and that key at the same time while you're standing on your head, and every second Thursday it won't work. Or they fail to share with you that, well, yeah, that's an upgrade, or that'll be in the next package down the road. They fail to tell you because in many cases they don't even know themselves the true capabilities of their package. I will repeat the same phrase 3 or 4 times during the presentation today. And this is a critical phrase, and here it comes for the first time. Don't ever listen to a consultant, me, when you are going to look for technology. Don't ever listen to a software salesperson. Don't ever listen to a hardware salesperson. So who do you listen to? A peer. Somebody who looks just like you. Somebody who is operating a store just like yours, who is using the technology. That's where you will get, and that's the only place you will get the straight answer on, does this stuff work and is it any good? In the handout you have for today's session, in the back of the handout, in addition to the computer needs analysis form that I'll talk about throughout the presentation, you have questions to ask existing users. Don't ever buy a piece of software or hardware without calling and talking to a retailer who is using it. At least 2, if not 3 or 4. They will tell you the straight story. Not consultants, not hardware people, not software people. Couple of rules, and you'll see that these really are the same rule. Rule number 1, don't buy any technology unless it benefits the customer. Technology must benefit the customer. Why you would invest in a point of sale system, in a merchandising system, in a financial system, the answer to why you would invest has to be because it will make it better for my customer. And it can make it better for your customer a lot of different ways. If you have the right product in your store, in your technology, your inventory management allows you to do that properly and never be out of stock, that's a benefit to your customer. If the technology allows you to save some money so that you can pass some of that savings along to your customer, that's another very good reason. Number 2, and this is right out of Retailing 101. I've seen this mistake made over and over again, both in manual systems and then trying to take a system that doesn't have this discipline into the computer age. The computer will never work. I'll guarantee you right now, if you do not have your store set up into departments, and you may only have 2 departments or 3, that's not the issue. You don't have any categories or classifications within those departments. You have no subclassifications. Those are not important. What you end up with is if you have not done what we call a merchandise hierarchy, and this has nothing to do with computers per se. This is basic merchandising disciplines. If I have not set my store up with merchandise hierarchies, then a computer system is not going to help me. It's not going to help me get the information out that I need to get out. And it's not going to help my efficiencies or help my sales. So what do I need to do? I need to, first of all, understand the very critical concept of category or class. Classification is the same word as category. If you're a hardline retailer, you call it a category. If you're a softline retailer, you call it a classification. It's the same word. And what it is, and I'll give you the technical or textbook definition, a category or a class is a grouping or assortment of merchandise that the customer finds interchangeable. In other words, they'll buy, let me give you a clear example. A customer walks into your store wanting to buy a guitar. What are the chances of that customer, if they don't see a guitar that they like, buying a set of drums? Not very good. So, oh, you don't have a guitar? I think I'll buy a piano instead. No, they shop within guitars. Now, guitars, they may move and they may not between acoustic and electric. They may move between 6-string and 12-string. That may be a subcategory. That's fine. But a customer coming in to buy a guitar wants a guitar. So I better have a category called guitars. And that's where I do all of my analysis. We have another rule, by the way, never more than 10 departments, never more than 10 classes per department, or 10 categories per department. Why do we have that rule? If you have too many categories, you will find that some of them are 2 or 3% of your business. We use category to run our business. Every day I like to look at how are my sales. I may come in and find that sales yesterday were up by 5% overall in the store. And I may feel very good about that. Say, hey, pat myself on the back. I'm doing fine. That may not tell the whole story. When I drop down to department, I may find that my musical instrument department is up by 20%, and I may find my accessories are down by 30%. And so if that's the case, then I drill down further into my accessory department, and I find out what categories are not performing. You see, if we try to run our business at what we call the SKU level, SKU, the single items in our store, if we try to understand our business based on SKU reports, we'll never get a good picture of what's happening within our store. So I start at the department level, I then drill down and look at my categories, and if everything is fine there, I generally don't have to look any further. But if I see problems in categories, either in lost gross margin, lost sales, out of stocks, then I drill down to the item level. If I have 30 categories in a department, I probably have a category that represents 1% or 0.5% of my business. It's not worth tracking it. And by the way, the customer's probably telling you, I don't believe in you for that particular product. And so maybe you should think about not carrying it. You should not, therefore, by this rule, 10 departments, 10 categories per department, you should never have more than 100 categories in your whole store. Now, a lot of retailers hear that and they go, well, gee, gosh, Jim, I need 200 categories. And I say, why? The Walmart Corporation runs a $170 billion business with 87 categories. And so if they could run that big monster store retail chain with 87 categories, certainly we can run our stores with 87 or 50 or 60 or 30. Everything we do, all the information we gather in our business is done at the category level. That's why it's really important that we understand what they are, we have proper category disciplines, and we build our systems based upon those disciplines.